You know, in Singapore's property scene, some projects get a bit of buzz, and then there are the ones that cause a real stir. Newport Residences is definitely one of those. So today, we're going to break down the anatomy of this hype condo. So why all the hype? What's the big deal? Well, it all comes down to this one question. Is this thing really one of Singapore's rarest freehold condos right in the CBD? That word, freehold, it's everything. Let's dig into what it actually means and why everyone's talking about it. All right, so here's our game plan. We'll start with why it's considered such a rare gem. Then we'll take a peek inside this so-called vertical resort. After that, we'll get into the numbers, the price, and see how it stacks up against its neighbors. And finally, the big one, who should actually be looking at this? Okay, let's jump right in. Section 1, a rare CBD diamond. We're going to look at the three main reasons this place is making so much noise. So it really comes down to three key things. Number one, and this is the big one, it's got a freehold tenure right in the CBD. That's incredibly rare. Second, the launch sales were really strong, which is saying something given the price. And third, it's pioneering this whole next-generation mixed-use living concept. Let's really zoom in on that word, freehold. Look, in a city like Singapore, where pretty much everything is on a 99-year lease, freehold is the holy grail. It means you own the property and the land it sits on, forever. There's no expiry date. And to have that in the CBD, that's not just a nice to have, it's the ultimate trump card. It's the core of its value. Okay, so we've established it's rare, but what's it actually like? Let's go inside this vertical resort and check out the lifestyle and the different layouts they're offering. All right, just the key facts here. It's a project by CDL, a big name, with 246 units in total. But here's a really smart detail you need to know. The apartments don't even start until the 23rd floor. Think about that. That puts you way above all the hustle and bustle, giving you more privacy and, you guessed it, way better views. Now this chart, this tells a story. Look at the unit mix. It's just overwhelmingly 1- and 2-bedroom units. So what does that tell you? This was never designed for big families. No, this is a laser-focused play for investors, targeting the exact kind of professional who works in the CBD and wants to live right next door. And check this out. They didn't just put all the facilities on one floor like most condos. No, they stacked them vertically, creating this resort experience. You've got these sky gardens for wellness and fitness spread across different floors. Then there's the rooftop, Newport Sky with a pool, spa, and lounges. And then Club Vista with a gym and co-working spaces. It's all designed literally for that busy CBD lifestyle. All right, time for the section I know you've been waiting for, the numbers. Price tag versus paycheck. Let's talk about what all this prestige is going to cost you, and more importantly, what kind of returns we're looking at. So the average launch price was about $3,300 per square foot. Let's just be clear. That puts this squarely in the premium luxury category. There's no two ways about it, this is a top-tier price point. And to put that into real dollars, these smallest one-bedroom units started at just under $1.3 million. So yeah, this is definitely not your first-time buyer kind of investment. So you pay that premium price. What about the returns? If you look at the estimated rental yields, a really clear pattern pops up. The highest yields, by a good margin, are for the one-bedroom units. And as the units get bigger, the yield drops. It's just more evidence that this whole project is engineered for investors targeting that single professional tenant. So if you're looking for the investment sweet spot, it's super specific. You want a one-bedroom or maybe a 1+ study. You want it on a high floor, and you want an open, unblocked view. That's the magic formula here. The data shows that's where you'll get the best rental performance. Okay, let's move on. No property is an island, right? So how does Newport stack up against its neighbors? Let's put it head-to-head with some of the other key players in the area. This table really helps clarify things. First, look at the tenure row. You see Newport and Sky Everton are both freehold. But then slide over and look at the price. Newport is right at the top. And that makes sense, right? It's the only one that has both of the magic ingredients. It's brand new and it's freehold. So it all comes down to trade-offs, doesn't it? With Newport, you're paying that top dollar premium, but what you get is the rarest of the rare, a brand new freehold condo in the CBD. With One Bernam, the price is more approachable, but you have to give up that freehold status. It's leasehold. And with Sky Everton, you get the freehold, but it's an older building. Each one has its own angle. Okay, so we've looked at the features, the price, the competition, which brings us to the big question, the final verdict. Who is this actually for? Who is the ideal buyer here? And the answer is really, really clear. The ideal buyer is someone playing the long game, someone who's focused on capital preservation, who really, really values that freehold tenure more than they value getting the absolute highest rental yield right now. This is not for the person who wants to flip it in a year for a quick buck or the person trying to maximize their cash flow month to month. And this right here really hammers that point home. This is all about the long game. The true value of a place like this is tied to the future growth of the city, especially with huge projects like the Greater Southern Waterfront coming online. To really see this investment pay off, you're not thinking about a couple of years. We're talking a holding period of maybe 8, even 15 years. So at the end of the day, you have to understand that Newport Residences was never designed to be a condo for everyone. It's not a mass market product. It is a strategic, premium CBD asset built for a very specific type of buyer, someone who gets the value of location and, most importantly, the incredible rarity of freehold. Which kind of leaves us with one final question to think about. In a place like Singapore, where the word rare doesn't even begin to cover it, is this just another condo? Or is it something else? Is it a statement asset? A piece of a global city that you're meant to hold for a generation. That's really what it comes down to.